My guest today is Harry Nunn. Harry, many congratulations on winning the mini championship.
Yeah, thank you. No, it was a great weekend, and it's great to finally get the championship across the line. It's been a tough year with great battles throughout the year, and it's finally great to get the championship done.
Tell us a little bit about how you became involved in minis. Our viewers on ITV, which I'm fortunate enough to commentate on, have seen you racing, but they didn't see you win your first race, which was at Croft. It was on the Saturday. We don't cover racing on the Saturdays. And I wondered if you could tell us a bit about your background and how you got into the minis.
So I raced go-karts for 3 years, and then I went to the Focus Cup for 2019, and Simon Walton used to race in the mini challenge. He recommended it would be a great series to get into. So we had a test with Aaron Reeve in January and another one in February. So 2 times before the season got started. And then, yeah, that's how it all began. And we signed up for the championship and, yeah, no expectations in the rookie year and, yeah, managed to win the championship. So it was a great achievement in the first year.
It was a fantastic achievement. First year, going back to Focus Cup, you were third in your debut season, your only season in that as well. Race-winning driver, fantastic. And from the point of view of the ITV viewers, for me, it mirrors what we saw Tom Leben do, the rookie coming in and taking the overall championship in the Genetta Juniors. And, you know, let's face it, the mini championship is fiercely competitive.
Yeah, there was going into the final round. Mathematically, there were 11 drivers that could have won the championship. So that just shows how close it is and what competitive series it is. So no, it's 27 cars on the grid, and I think 34 next year signed up. So be another great year and very competitive. So I'm looking forward to it.
Were there any drivers that stood out in particular? Any ones that you particularly enjoyed racing against?
So the top five, so Archie, my teammate, who's obviously great racing against. Alex Neville, had some great battles with him, and of course Dom, who's a runner-up. We had some great races throughout the year.
Any funny stories from this year's championship at all?
Yeah, there's a few. So I don't know if you remember at Thruxton, the final race of the weekend. So I started 14th, I think it was, and first lap I think I got up to 7th, or I think it was 7th, and I got pushed out on the grass, and I was going about 100 miles an hour across the grass, which was quite funny after looking back on it, not at the time, but that was one of the best moments.
Have you won the championship? What are the plans for next year? Will you come back and defend, or maybe use this year as an opportunity to move on to something else?
So at the moment, I think we're going to go back for another year and try and defend the championship. It would just, I think it would kind of prove something if I went and won it again. So I think at the moment, that's what we're going to do.
You're a second generation racer, I believe. Tell us a little bit about your dad. What's his background? What does he do?
Yeah, so he races in the Fun Cup, the endurance series, in a VW Beetle. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started. I went to watch him, and I just loved watching it, and that's why I wanted to get involved in racing.
I see you've got motocross on your CV as well. How did that come about? And it must be good for the reflexes.
Yeah, that's kind of where the aggression came in, which needed in mini challenge. No, yeah, I had probably 5 years at doing motocross, so no, that's where I kind of learnt the skill of racing, and no, it was great bringing that into cars. Obviously, very different, but similar in some ways.
We always end up asking younger drivers, what's the ambition? Is it for you to go to touring cars, sports cars, or single seaters?
Yeah, so I think probably touring cars at the moment, but we'll just take it one step at a time and see where we get. You know, a lot can happen. I'm only 19, so still got a few years behind me yet, so we'll see what happens.
Cracking running the championship for you this year. Before we go, any plans for testing over the winter break?
Yeah, so we'll probably have a few test days. Probably we're finished for the 2020, but yeah, early next year we'll have a few test days, and yeah, hopefully they go well.
And as you're champion now, of course, I'm guessing there might be some sponsors knocking on the door wanting to share in your success.
Yeah, there's been a few talks. So yeah, all positive for next year.
The course to touring cars, JCW is possibly the next step.
Yeah, that would be an option. They're great cars, mini touring cars. So yeah, that would probably be the obvious next step.
Harry, it's been great talking to you this evening. Thanks ever so much for taking the time to do that. We wish you well for the seasonal break and we look forward to seeing you on the grid in 2021.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you then.